Okay, you've created a paper mock-up for a vessel. Now it's time to cut out the slab pieces. You'll need a variety of slab sticks, a rolling pin, a scraper, a needle tool, some paper towels with your spray bottle for a little bit of water, your container, and a plastic bag for when we're going to store. Here's those tools. But before you start, did you take a photograph? Did you take it to the station and take a photograph of your mock-up? You could have used your phone camera, or you could have used the school camera. Remember, we're documenting this process and you need those photos before we start taking things apart. You want at least 2 good views, and you want the rulers to be included in your photographs. Once you have that done, go ahead and start carefully taking that tape off. We need all of our papers intact, not ripped, so take your time. If they're kind of stuck and don't want to come off, don't just yank them off. Go ahead and grab some scissors and cut that apart separately, nice and even, right? Don't let your papers get ruined in this process. So your first job, take the tape off. Mine has my name on it already because I've taken this apart several times, but yours probably does not. Make sure your name is on it. Use a Sharpie. Also, maybe you want to put what each piece is on your vessel. Maybe you have a lot of the same kind of shapes. And also, as extra protection, you could put your block number on it, although they should be colored that match our block. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. I previously had wedged some clay. And so I'm going to start working, but wait, did I really wedge the clay? I have 2 different looking colors in there. You really need to wedge until it's blended. So if you have clay that looks swirly, then you need to keep wedging. I'm doing a ram's head wedge there, or version of one. I'm going to keep wedging. I've sped it up, but I don't want it to have any swirl looks. I want the best chance for this to work out well, and I need that clay blended. So I've got it much better blended with my wedging, and now I'm just kind of tapping it. You can see everything flying on my table. I'm just tapping it so I can get kind of a better shape for rolling, so like a rectangular prism or cube. Now my goal is to start out to make sure that my piece of clay is wide enough for the template. So I'm going to start doing some rolling with my rolling pin. Notice my hands are in the center for better pressure. I'm actually standing up. You can't tell, but I'm standing up. I have much better rolling ability standing up. I'm flipping it over on my mat so it doesn't get stuck, right? And it's just about wide enough. I haven't been using my slab sticks yet, but I'm also not pressing hard, and so I'm not risking making any area too thin. So now it's wide enough. I feel good. So now I'm going to really start adding a little bit more pressure. So I want to put some protection there on the side, and I'm going to use my thicker slab sticks that I grabbed. I had grabbed 3 different sizes because I know for sure I want 2 different sizes for my project. So I picked the thicker ones. Notice that I placed them so that there's space between the sticks and my clay, and that my rolling pin will always be resting on the slab sticks, never on my mat. And I'm doing a gentle wiggle, right? Kind of back and forth, no crazy pressure, so I can evenly move it. My needle tool I pulled out a couple times to pop any air bubbles that I saw in the clay. My goal is to keep rolling, and so far I'm not bad. I used the thicker slab sticks first, but I actually want my sides to be thinner, so I started with thicker slab sticks to get started, and now I've pulled up some thinner slab sticks. Remember, we have kind of each of our slab sticks have codes on them. I made sure that they were matching sticks, and so I'm going to continue this process. I have sped this video up. Take your time, do not rush. You don't stop just because it's big enough. You stop because it doesn't roll anymore. You stop because it's the proper size of your slab sticks, right? Now here's what I'm looking for is, did I make it? I feel like, oh, I'm off a little bit with that corner, but it's in the corner where it's going to join, and I can actually have some coil and some clay fill that up. If it was really bad, I'd have to start over and do it all again. Now, I was off camera, so you can't see the end, but it is long enough for this piece. Notice how when I'm cutting, my fingers are against the edge of the construction paper, and I'm putting my needle tool kind of on its side, and I'm doing multiple pulls, not one harsh deep pull to cut into my mat. I am doing a light gentle pull. And so the goal is to cut out slabs that are the actual size of our templates, right? We made little patterns, and that our slabs are going to be consistent thickness. That's why we use slab sticks. Now this piece is going to ultimately have to be curved, so when I store it, I want it to be curved. And I'm trying to be gentle. I was being a little harsh and starting to cause some creases, so I need to be a little bit more gentle. I'm going to put it in my bin, but I don't want it to get stuck on the bottom, so I put down a paper towel and I just sprayed it lightly with our spray. And so now I'm just going to set it in there and have the curve that I want it to have later. Now this extra clay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and re-wedge that. And so it's a smaller piece, but I am going to wedge it, and I'm going to do some tapping to get it into a better shape for rolling with my rolling pin. So this one is done, so I'm going to keep it. Remember, we need it later, so I'm just going to put it on top of the bin, not inside of it to get moldy. All right, so I have 3 more pieces to do. And when I do this, I'm going to use different thicknesses. I am going to use, oh, you know what I should do? I should clean this mat first. I don't scrape with the edge. I just have to move the crumbs so I don't get them all over my pieces. So I am going to use this piece, and I think I'll work on the foot of my vessel. Now my foot I want to be thicker than the sides. I want it to be a nice sturdy foot, so I used the thicker slab sticks that I had. And notice how I've rotated the clay and I've flipped it a few times so it doesn't get stuck on my mat. And so now it's big enough, it's rolled so it can't go anymore, and now I'm going to cut it out. But notice I'm not actually cutting it out exactly the size of the bottom foot. Now my bottom of my foot was round and I couldn't get the exact shape, so I'm cutting out a piece that's slightly bigger so that when I actually put this rounded vessel together, I will cut the slab for my foot out then. If you made more of a rectangular vessel, then your foot probably is the exact proper size and you don't have to do that little extra space around there. Now I'm going to work on the handle and the pocket. The handle I want to be thick and the pocket I want to be with thin, right? And I already have this clay ready, so I'm going to try to get both out of this piece of clay. So since I want the handle to be thick, I'm going to roll my slab out using my thicker slab sticks first. So that's what I'm working on right now. As I'm rolling, I don't stop again until I'm ready. I make sure that my rolling pin is always resting on my slab sticks, never on my mat. I need that consistent thickness. That's our learning target, to make slabs that are consistent thickness. So I have enough so then I can cut out my handle with my slabs, with this thickness of the slab. I'm going to do a couple last rolls, and I think I'm about ready to cut it out. Now it's so thin, I'm checking the back. I want to make sure it looks good. It does. No crumbs, no creases. It looks good before I start cutting this out. I'm going to use my slab sticks because it's a nice crisp straight edge to help me out to make sure, because that piece was so small and I wanted to make sure I created a straight edge. So that's why I was using my slab sticks as a helpful straight edge. Okay, so good. I have my handle cut out. And so I'm down to one last piece. I'm going to store that. I didn't show you me putting the foot inside, but I put the foot inside. Now I don't want my foot and my handle to get stuck to each other, so I just put a piece of paper towel in between and then put the handle piece on. All right, I'm on to my last one, but again, first I do want to clean my mat. Get rid of any crumbs that are there on the mat. I don't want them on my piece. So it's not quite wide enough, but I know it's long enough. So I'm going to trim some of that off. Remember, this was the thickness of my handle, which was thicker than what I want my pocket to be. So I have more that I can roll out if I have a different slab stick. So now I just need to roll it. I've left my template next to me so I know how long it needs to be. And again, I'm making sure that my rolling pin is always on my slab stick so that when I'm rolling this, it will be a consistent thickness, and I'm constantly flipping it so it doesn't get stuck. And so here I go again. I've sped up the video. You are taking your time. My needle tool's kind of on its side. I'm doing multiple passes before it gets pulled away. I want a nice crisp line, but I don't need to do it so harsh and so fast that I'm digging into the mat. All right, I'm done. I've got all of my pieces cut out, and so now I'm going to store them carefully. Always a little bit of water, not too much, just a little bit, and something to keep them from sticking to one another. One final spray, especially if you're going over the weekend, don't forget the spray. And because our bins aren't airtight, we put the extra bag on top to keep that moisture in. I'm going to lock her up. I'm not going to carry it by the handle because it's not that good of a handle. I'm going to put my templates on top because you can't lose those. Remember, you will need those to match up with your final vessel. The next step after this will be attachment that we'll go over together. As always, enjoy the process.